Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. This video is mainly about the reaction of Pope Francis after the desecration of the Holy Quran that took place in Sweden. But before talking about that, I would like to start with a very important introduction, which will allow us to better understand what is happening now in the world. The incident happened in Stockholm on the day of Eid Al-Adha. While Muslims around the world were celebrating the great holiday of sacrifice, a man burned a copy of the Holy Quran outside the mosque. He was given the go-ahead by a Swedish court. Since then, this event has been all over the news, but no one ever asked about the perpetrator's religion, nor has the media revealed much about his identity or motivations. In all media outlets and websites, he is only mentioned as an Iraqi national, whereas if a similar act had been perpetrated by a Muslim, there would be a ton of information about the individual, and the whole Muslim community would have suffered the consequence of his action. It is Islam that will be blamed and insulted in all the media around the world. That's the true face of today's media. Several studies have shown that media coverage is much higher when crimes involve Muslims, while when crimes are committed by non-Muslims, the media do not give much coverage and try to hide some details of the criminals. For example, a study conducted in the USA by Georgia State University found that terror attacks committed by non-Muslims received an average of 15 headlines, while those committed by Muslims received 105 headlines. In this research, the authors studied 136 terror attacks in the USA over a span of 10 years. Out of them, only 12.5% attacks had been committed by Muslims, but they received more than half of the news coverage. In other words, terror attacks committed by Muslims received 357% more attention in the press than those committed by non-Muslims. That's the reality. To conclude this point, it should be noted that even if the media do everything to tarnish the image of Islam, they still do not succeed, because Islam remains the fastest growing religion in the world. This has been proven by a serious study conducted by the PEW Research Center. The study found that Muslims will grow more than twice as fast as the overall world population between 2015 and 2060, while the world's population is projected to grow 32% in the coming decade. The number of Muslims is expected to increase by 70% from 1.8 billion in 2015 to nearly 3 billion in 2060. This will make Islam surpass Christianity and become the world's largest religious group. Regarding the desecration of the Quran in Sweden, Pope Francis has expressed his anger. He strongly condemned this act committed in front of a mosque with approval from the Swedish authorities. In an interview published in the Emirate newspaper Al-Ittihad, the Pope stressed the importance of respecting any book considered sacred, as well as the people who believe in it. He said, "I feel angry and disgusted at these actions. Freedom of speech should never be used as a means to despise others, and allowing that is rejected and condemned. As Muslims, we appreciate the Pope's condemnation of the desecration of the Holy Quran and the way he made it clear that any religious book should be treated with utmost respect." 3 days after the incident in Sweden, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, an Islamic grouping of 57 states, said collective measures are needed to prevent acts of desecration of the Quran, and the international law should be used to stop religious hatred. The organization said in the final communique, "We condemn all attempts to denigrate the sanctity of the Mus'haf, as well as other sacred values and symbols of Islam, under the garb of freedom of expression, which is contrary to the spirit of Articles 19 and 20 of the ICCPR, and we call upon the international community to stand against those provocative attempts. May Allah open their hearts and minds so they can discover the light of Islam." Assalamu alaikum.